Hey guys, my name is Attorney Walter Knott, and we're going to be going through basically what all of the presidents, President Biden, President Trump, President Obama, President Bush, the other Bush, Clinton, what they all lied about. And they all lied about this. So the question really is there some sort of sentient life out there? Is there some sort of intelligent life on another planet? I just want to go ahead and give my perspective on this. You guys know me to be kind of like a straight thinker, like, what's the statistics? And how quickly can we throw them out based upon just thinking of what actually happens in the world? Because, statistics right now, Mark Twain put it best, and you always look up his quote, but the bottom line is government agencies, political agencies, private businesses that are being used by political agencies, it's just all a bunch of shenanigans at this point. But I want to go through with this. Is there some sort of real sentient life beyond Earth? So I just wanted to give my theory on it real quick. Here we go. In the 4th century, we all believed as a human race, for the most part, that was part of like the collective of individuals that were on Earth that were thinking about this, that the Earth was the center of the universe. We now know that that's absolutely hilarious and ridiculously wrong. 5th century, Earth is flat. We still have some Earth flat earthers out there. They're kind of rare. It's we've seen kind of a resurgence, and now we get to see there's quite a few more than we thought there were, but it's still pretty rare to come across a true flat earther. 16th century, the sun is the center of the universe. We know that's absolutely ridiculous now. Current century, where we're at right now, we know how black holes work for the most part. We know how to capture dark energy. We found the God particle, Higgs particle. We can make decent frozen food, which I thought would never happen. Now it's really good. I was really surprised by that. We are about to become a multi-planet spacefaring race of human beings. So, look, bottom line is President Biden should just come out with the details as to what we know, what we have for UFO technology, what we have for thinking capable beings beyond Earth. And here's why. A lot of you guys still believe somehow, and don't get me wrong, I look at non-believers as to whether or not there's life beyond Earth. That's, living, breathing, if not breathing, but, high capacity intelligence. Some of you still think that doesn't exist, that there are not UFOs and aliens out there because of the stigma that comes from the government of how it pooed everybody into this, like, oh, of course there's not. I just want you to understand that no matter what you do, 5 to 10 years from now, you will be looked at, if you have that opinion, as a flat earther is looked at, as a center of the universe is looked at. And the reason why this is because the universe is unending. There is no end to the cosmos. We can see parts of it where we see basically the formation of, galaxies being formed, but that doesn't mean beyond that there's significantly older galaxies. That doesn't mean that beyond the visible space in which we can use our, better telescopes, that we always get a little bit far, now we can look with, now we can use this type of light, now we can use this type of, now we can see through that. That doesn't mean that there's part of this universe that we still can't see. And there's tons, unlimited amounts. And for somebody to come and say that there is no extraterrestrial, there is no living, thinking being on another planet somewhere, or living on a spaceship because the planet, went through the phase of everything and their sun got massive and, enveloped their planet. And there's something else out there. Maybe it's here, maybe it's not. So I just wanted to go through this real quick, and I just want to clarify this. There is only proof that something could exist out there because of the infinite vastness of the cosmos. For a government to tell you that nothing exists, and then to show you things from the Pentagon showing that things exist that we can't explain, or for Obama to come out and say, President Obama to come out and say, we're not really sure if we have labs, if we don't have labs, yada, yada, yada. I need you guys to understand this. The government officials that look over this stuff are required to, for the purposes of, basically, upkeep of the country, making sure people follow the path that they want them to, they're required to lie to us. They are. They're legally required to lie. A lot of people don't realize that, but government officials are required to lie to the general public, their citizens, other politicians. They're required to lie for basically security. We call it homeland security. And that's one of the biggest parts of homeland security, is lying to its people. Which, when you think about it, is really scary, because as a highly intelligent group of people as we think we are, we're obviously not that intelligent to be stuck constantly hiding things from our own citizens. So we know that there's almost certainly habitable life, or habitable planets. We've already found habitable planets. So we know that that's a reality. We know that life could be sustained somewhere else. We know that spaceships can be built. We know that there's technology, fusion, there's special, black energy or dark energy, or whatever you want to call it, technology that would allow, special travel through space, that doesn't follow the traditional system of speed of light. We know that we're getting much closer to being able to manipulate objects that can be quantum connected, which is really cool. We now have quantum computing, which is amazing. So I just wanted to kind of put some ideas in your head about this. If we started out believing that Earth was the center of everything, and that Earth was flat, and then the sun was the center of everything, how stupid do you think people are going to look when they realize that they're not the only race of beings in the universe? They're going to look incredibly stupid. And that's because in the entire universe of possible things that could exist, we're it. I mean, how moronic is that? Well, we're the only ones that can make it? They have these things, the tardigrades, that are basically these little, they call them these little water cows or whatever they call them, but basically there's things that can pretty much dry out, and they can be sent on an asteroid and go from planet to planet, and they basically can get fluid water put back into their system, and then they come to life. We know that the universe has the capacity to spread life from one planet to the next. We know that there's planets out there that can sustain life from one planet to the next. We even know that basically there's large amounts of water on many of these other planets, and not just ice on top. So at this point, we've kind of gotten to the realization of, when is our government just going to be honest with us? Could be this year, could be next year, could be the year after that. But they all lie to us. Like, if you look up each president, if you look at Trump, if you look at Biden, if you look at Obama, they all lie to us about it. Trump was asked about, okay, well, what did the Air Force person see? And he's like, well, you should go ask him. Or when Obama was asked, oh yeah, I called up, asked, where the labs and yada yada. There's no labs. They're all lying to us, but they're required to by law as part of Homeland Security. But there's other heads of state that have come out and said, yes, this is what we have. These are the other things that exist on Earth, etc. Highly intelligent, capable beings. Leaders of different countries that have come out and said, yes, they're here. So I guess what I'd like to do is start to get your mind thinking about, what do we want the government to tell us about this? Is it important enough for us to know about? What technology could we gain from it? What technologies are they really holding back from making us a better species? And then why do we rely on the government to make us a better species? So think about this. Think about all the technologies that they have, like free energy. And I know a lot of people point to this whole COVID thing and say, look, if you give them a little bit of money every month, they don't go and work. Well, I'm seeing in Florida a lot of signs up for, all these lower types of physical labor-oriented jobs. Jobs that I did way back in the day before the master's and the Juris Doctorate, actually during the master's, but before the Juris Doctorate. Things like, Wendy's, McDonald's, things like, a sewing place. They're having a hard time finding people, and that's because you're basically seeing universal basic income right now, which is actually less, it's more in some instances, but less for some than what they were talking about during the 2020 presidential election. So my point to you is 2021 presidential election. My point to you is this: every country, and I learned this through a group I'm part of. gauges how much work they can get out of their people by having a massive accounting. And that massive accounting is a workforce accounting on work product, gross domestic product. And the review of that is to see how much they can make based off of basically their farm, which are their people. The people are farmed as part of the government to go ahead and create products. Just like a farm would have cows, the U.S. government has people. And I know some of you would be like, "Ugh, I hate to hear it that way," but that's how it works. That's we are all cows to the government, unfortunately. We create milk as needed, and then sometimes when we don't, and we've passed through that, unfortunately, you see the other effect of what a cow is used for. So the problem here is this. If we had access to those technologies, if we all got together and voted to require them to release that information, what would happen? Would we be happy with it? Would we be more afraid than we currently are? You know, with politicians, if people go to bed afraid, those politicians tend not to get voted back in. Is this all just a pass the ball situation where essentially we are kept at ease because we don't want to go ahead and think about what's coming up? We don't have to deal with something that's beyond our fragile brains? Are things so far beyond our understanding that we just don't go there? A lot of people make fun of those people who believe in sentient beings beyond Earth, like they have tinfoil hats, and why can't they just understand that humans are the only thing out there? I would point this to you. Elon is traveling into space, right, with different things, Starlink, etc. And all of a sudden, he keeps posting all these little Twitter thingies about, clearly they're not real because the camera footage isn't clear and we can't see exactly what's going on. Clearly they're not real because we don't have any interaction with them or proof of them at this point. When somebody forcefully comes out explaining, like Neil deGrasse, this is many people actually, but when people forcefully come out explaining that they need more evidence, this to me is a sign that they not only know more than the average person as to what's going on, but they're part of something that is trying to reduce the knowledge base or the curiosity into that knowledge base. And for that reason, I would just like you guys as a group to start thinking, not only does the technology for an advanced civilization exist on Earth, but likely there are other sentient beings, life forms, things like that, that have traveled here, and if not, somehow integrated with the population here to go ahead and learn and etc. I'm sure a lot of you guys are sitting there going, "This is insane. How could you say that there's alien life out there?" I think honestly the dumbest people on Earth are the ones that are sitting there going, in the great universe, the unfathomable, unreachable currently, vast expanse of universe, if you were to try and travel the speed of light, you would get nowhere, anywhere fast. It would take you lifetimes upon lifetimes to make it a few galaxies that way. My point to you is this: the universe is so vast, only the dumbest human beings on Earth could ever come to the idea that there's not something better, worse, greater, smaller than what we have here on Earth. How could you even come to the conclusion that we're it? That's the Earth is flat, right? We are the Earth. We're the middle of the universe. That's that kind of thinking. I think we need to start voting so that they release this information. I think we need to become aware of it. I think we need to get access to that higher level technology because I think it's going to answer a lot of our questions. And I mean stuff you don't even think about. If the human race is facing another race of beings, all of a sudden the human race is going to move past racism within the human race in a big way. Now we're going to be looking at this whole other race thinking, whoa, this is totally different and highly intelligent. There's all these benefits of it. There's huge negatives. But we need to start addressing these things because we are becoming a spacefaring civilization. All right? My name is Attorney Walter, if not the third. If you like the videos, like, subscribe. Leave 5 stars. I will catch you a little bit later. Have an absolutely wonderful day, and thank you so much. Bye-bye.